This is the NBA on NBC.
On to the second quarter with the Bulls up by 7. As we've been discussing, the Cavaliers, a team that loves to control the tempo. They try to grind you down over the long haul, and I talked about that with their coach, Mike Fratello. What is your answer to those who say that the Cavaliers are a boring basketball team?
Who might say that?
Matt.
Well,
take your time.
I guess we have to go to the source and evaluate the source first. And if boring is part of how he identifies our team, he probably doesn't give our defense much recognition also, probably feeling that we really don't defend people. We just let the clock run out every time, therefore at the end of the game, neither team has many points. But I feel sorry for that person. I really do. I truly feel sorry for him.
Oh, obviously some chicanery going on there between the play-by-play announcer and the former analyst.
Crowd reacting. They felt that it was last touched by Pippen. Just in the course of natural conversation, these things come out, Matt.
I have a feeling he put you up to that.
Are you talking of Mr. Entertainment himself? Bulls 24 and the Cavaliers 17. Here's Harper. And Hill able to come up with it. Hill and Rodman in the scrap for the rebound. Marley with a nice move on Bushler, who had just come on, and he draws the foul.
Well, poor shooting in that first quarter by the Cavaliers, just 8 for 22, 38%, only getting 2 free throws, taking good care of the basketball, but they have to rely so much on their perimeter shooting and their three-point shooting. Now, Tyrone Hill can post up a little, Bobby Phills can, and go inside there and probably try to draw a double team and then get a shot in rhythm.
And Sora looking to post up on Kerr. Bushler with the steal. Michael Jordan getting a rest. Phil Jackson taking him out here at the start of the second quarter. Rodman. Rare shot opportunity for Dennis.
Very rare, but looked good on it. Nice rotation. Probably takes about one of those a year. He'd prefer to back out to that three-point line and launch.
Sora and Phills in the backcourt with Mills, Hill, and Marley up front. Marley knocks down the three. The Bulls 24 and the Cavaliers 20. Dan Marley has picked it up, struggled earlier in the season after coming over from Phoenix. The Bulls have missed their last 5 shots. Kerr guarded by Sora. Got the ball, goes to the drive. Nicely done.
Full moon out tonight. Dennis Rodman taking jump shots in the post, and Steve Kerr, known for his perimeter shooting, putting it on the floor and going to the basket.
The Bulls 26, the Cavaliers 20. Marv Albert, Mac Dukas, and Ahmad Rashad from the Gund Arena in Cleveland. Sellout crowd, better than 20,000 on hand. Shot clock is at 6. Nice look. Beautifully done. Marley off the lead pass. It's what makes the Cavaliers effective. Very smart team, always looking for the open man.
Well, they have to get the defense to scramble like that, and when they do, they are a very effective team and very unselfish.
Shot clock at 6. Hill with the rebound. Also, when you're playing the Cavaliers, you can't get frustrated. You have to be very patient.
And there is a tendency to want to force things, to try to pressure more defensively, to try to force the fast breaks when they're sometimes not there, and that's when you can get yourself into some trouble.
Bushler. And Rodman able to retrieve it.
Like there, not a good shot by Judge Bushler, but failed out on the hustle play by Dennis Rodman to at least get another possession.
There's Harper cutting to the hoop, draws the foul. Harper will go to the line. Terrell Brandon getting set to return, but first a timeout taken with 8:34 left, first half.
It's brought to you by the all-new Eclipse Spider Convertible. It's fun you can depend on from Mitsubishi. By Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet? and by Black & Decker. It's how things get done.
Welcome back to Cleveland, Ohio, where the Bulls lead the Cavaliers 26-22 early in the second quarter. The Cleveland Cavaliers are first in the NBA in fewest points allowed, giving up just under 89 per game. And since the advent of the 24-second clock, they are right on the heels of the all-time record, 89.7. The Syracuse Nationals of 1955 allowed only 89.7 per game, but we've been talking about the way they use that 24-second clock, which certainly contributes to that.
And the Cavaliers with 10 of their 25 shots taken with the shot clock winding down, which is fine when you have a player like Terrell Brandon. The other players on the floor know his tendencies, know his moves, and know where that shot is coming from for a chance to get an offensive rebound and to at least have floor balance as far as getting back on defense. And another big reason why the Cavaliers have been so successful this year.
Bulls by 5. So Brandon is back. Brandon and Sora now the guards with Hill, Marley, and Mills on the front line. Michael Jordan continues to sit it out here at the start of the second quarter. Had a strong first quarter. Mills with the fake. Shot clock down to 3, 2, 1. Marley for 3. And it's handled by Pippen. Sora was all over him, and he was able to release right on target.
And Steve evidently had his mind made up. He doesn't like to take too many shots off the dribble. He had Judge Bushler deep in the corner, wide open, decided to keep it himself.
So the Bulls lead by 8. Eddie Ferry getting set to return. Here's Hill. Just did beat the 24-second buzzer. Starts for Scottie Pippen. Now Michael Jordan and Tony Kukoc making their way to the scorer's table.
Well, neither team with a post player out on the floor with the exception of Tyrone Hill. Ron Harper decides to go in the post and then throw up the jump sky hook. We're seeing some unusual shots today.
That might be a new one out of the Ron Harper repertoire. He's extended to a 10-point lead for the Bulls with 5 minutes gone by in this first half. All right, here's Harper. Nowhere to go. Line drives the hook and hits.
Shot back here in Cleveland. Now, everybody knows that underneath his playing shorts, Michael Jordan wears his North Carolina shorts. Well, Terrell Brandon, feeling the same way about his school. Underneath his uniform, he wears his Fighting Duck Oregon shorts, as I do, Marv.
And I could understand that. Ahmad very proud of his alma mater. Wears the Fighting Duck insignia right on his heart. Been waiting to report the news about Terrell Brandon for weeks. 10-point lead for the Bulls. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Biggest lead of the game. Danny Ferry is back, although Ferry only 0 for 5 for the field. Ferry able to elude Kukoc to hit his first field goal.
And there you could see the Chicago Bull defense getting a little bit antsy, gambling for steals, and that's when the Cavaliers can get wide open shots as Ferry did there.
Jordan being played by Marley, and then Ferry over to help. Pippen. Scottie Pippen with his first bucket. The Bulls 34 and the Cavaliers 24. Cleveland Cavaliers with a very difficult schedule to finish out the season. Phil's way off. Hill lost it, but able to back tap. The shot clock is down to 3. Marley. Rodman rebounds. And here's Jordan. Passed by Phils. Still able to hit. Cut off by Phils. And then Marley and Michael Jordan able to accelerate his way to the basket.
It looked like a dangerous pass, a risky one by Dennis Rodman, but Michael Jordan like a wide receiver in football, much like Ahmad Rashad, running the fly pattern down the right side.
Wait a moment, Matt.
No. The catch in the finish.
Watching those black and white films again. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Kukoc with the good move off the dribble. And handled by Marley.
Phil Jackson didn't like him. The only way was if that ball went in the basket, but he just barked at Kukoc for dribbling the ball too much.
Brandon on the follow. And then kicked out. Last touch by Kukoc.
Well, Dennis Rodman, anytime he defensive rebounds, always thinking fast break. Many times he'll take it out on the dribble himself, but getting the ball high over his head and threading the needle to Michael Jordan, who's able to thread the needle at the other end for the finish.
I mentioned the tough schedule ahead for the Cavaliers. Tuesday in Atlanta. Thursday back home for the Knicks. Saturday home for Detroit. Next Sunday afternoon at Indiana. Terrell Brandon with 8 points. And the Bulls now lead 36-26. 4.5 remaining in the first half. Rodman was looking baseline for Jordan. Kerr blocked by Marley. And here's Brandon. No one in sight.
And Dennis Rodman didn't even bother giving chase. A guy who normally hustles on every play, no matter what the circumstance, but he saw that Terrell Brandon had about a length and a half on him and just let him go.
Will that be a play that Phil Jackson might not appreciate?
I don't think so. I don't know if they look at the tape, and who knows if they will. But no, you got to hustle out every play. The guy could fall down. Anything could happen.
Pippen. And the Bulls now lead by 10. Cavaliers have won 5 of their last 8 and 9 of the last 14 games. Here at home, 24-14. And Brandon will go to the line to shoot 2. Foul committed by Kerr.
Well, Terrell Brandon with very quick hands, and this is Dan Marley coming from behind on the block shot, coming from behind on Steve Kerr, but no floor balance there. Michael Jordan, the other guard, in there with Steve Kerr and Scottie Pippen all along the baseline, and that enabled Brandon to get out all by himself.
And Brandon, one of the best free throw shooters in the NBA, 89% at the line. Mark Price injured last season. Brandon able to emerge, taking over at point guard. He was also hit with injuries last season, missed the final 10 games with a stress fracture of the right leg. You can see he's come from 13 a game to nearly 19.5 points per game, made the All-Star team. He has an 18-inch rod in his right leg due to the surgery last spring, a stress fracture, as I said, and wasn't able to play any basketball over the summer. There were some questions about Brandon entering the season.
He was born with leg and foot problems. He had to wear braces on his feet at about 2 years of age.
And off the rebound battle, a loose ball foul call. And Rodman pounding the ball to the floor. Foul on Rodman, his first.
Now, Dennis Rodman always working around the offensive boards, always making contact when he can. Just a little love tap there on the back of Michael Cage, and not happy with the call. Dennis Rodman didn't think he pushed hard enough.
Team foul number 3 committed by the Bulls. Marley went to the right hand, went left to right on the drive, and the Cavaliers down by 7.
Dan Marley was saying, hey, this is the way I used to play when I came in the league. I was always a defensive player when I came up with Phoenix. I always used to be able to take the ball to the basket, but of course things changed as he worked his way through the Phoenix Suns here with a nice move on Tony Kukoc, unable to stop the dribbler.
Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll hear Peter Vessey's conversation with Kevin Johnson of the Phoenix Suns. KJ and his mates play the Lakers in the second half of our doubleheader on NBC. We'll also bring you scores and highlights of some important games in the Eastern Conference playoff picture and an update on the condition of the Pacers' Reggie Miller, who was involved in a scary-looking collision last night against the Pistons. Right now in Cleveland, the Bulls lead the Cavs by 7. And back we go to Marv, Matt, and Ahmad.
All right, Bob. And a moment ago, as both teams broke for the timeout, Phil Jackson upset with Tony Kukoc. And lets Tony know that he's upset. And then Michael Jordan with a tip for Tony.
I think Phil was upset with the too much dribbling and not playing Dan Marley well enough on that penetration. Michael Jordan had something to say. John Patrick, everybody but Jack Haley, I think, spoke to Tony about the way he's playing.
Here is Bushler hitting the three. Judd Bushler, in his 6th year out of Arizona, back on the floor, knocks down a three-pointer, and the Bulls now lead by 10. Judd, a guy who's made the rounds, the Nets, San Antonio, Golden State, Chicago. He's had some bright moments with the Bulls. Dan Marley providing a lift for the Cavs here in the second quarter. Here's Marley on the run, but had a pitch back. Shot clock running down. Bills able to bail out the Cavaliers, and the Bulls now lead by 8 with just under 2 minutes to go, first half.
Looking over at the bench, Phil Jackson very, very frustrated and upset right now with the way that his team is playing defense, but you have to give the Cavaliers credit for lulling him into this defensive mindset.
Yes, they will do it. Timeout was called. But Hopper landed on his wrist. Bulls had called for time, and they're able to maintain possession.
And Ron Harper in a great deal of pain right now, holding that left wrist as trainer Chip Schaefer out to see if Ron is okay. Ron, one of the few Bulls, along with Michael Jordan and Steve Kerr, to play in every game. Scottie Pippen has been getting the ball in good position in the paint on a number of occasions. And then Ron Harper falling backwards, trying to get control and trying to call timeout at the same time. Got that left wrist caught underneath him. From a different angle, hard to do all those things at one time. Get the basketball, try to maintain balance, and signal or call for some kind of a timeout.
Hopper sitting down. Bill Wennington checks in for the first time. Minute 35 left in the first half. Jordan facing a triple team. And here is Pippen. Rebounded by Cage. So Cleveland back in possession. They are down by 8. A first half that has seen very few turnovers, only 2 apiece. Marley. Well, he thought he had Cage cutting.
Well, in most pick and roll situations, we call them pick and roll. It ends up in a pick and pop for a jump shot. But Michael Cage is not a perimeter shooter by any means. And in his case, he should roll hard to the basket. And that's what Dan Marley thought he was going to do.
Wennington at the high post being played by Ferry. They double up on Pippen. Shot clock at 6.
Come here.
Pippen finding the open man. Michael Jordan from deep in the corner. It's a 3. He has 14 points, and the Bulls lead by 11.
That was a field pass from Scottie Pippen. He knew where everybody else was on the floor. I don't think he saw Michael Jordan until he released the ball, but he had a good feeling that he was deep in that corner.
Half-minute left in the first half. Brandon working hard, digging for the basket. The beautiful lead pass, and Jordan converts.
As a quarterback, he's 2 for 2, Dennis Rodman. Beautiful pass.
The Bulls 46, the Cavaliers 35, and they'll hold for a final shot of the half. 15 seconds remaining. Brandon checking with Fratello at the bench. Ferry had the foot on the line. Rebound Cage. Snaps it out. Final seconds. Fills. So that is the end of the first half. Michael Jordan with 16 points. And the Bulls lead by 11. So Jordan 7 of 9 from the field, including 2 from downtown. This one of the 2 off the pass from Pippen. And then the lead thrown by Rodman, whipping it the length of the court. And Jordan, looking like a wide receiver, making the reception and then putting it home. 11-point Chicago lead. Bob Costas and the Prudential halftime report in a moment.
Halftime report brought to you by Prudential.